Hello and welcome to your daily dose of Satoshi's news. Today's date is Tuesday the 19th of March 2024, the year of 1,000,000 transactions per second and more. Take custody of your digital assets today at rockwallet.com. Right, let's get into it. So let's just go through a little bit of 365 days of Bitcoin history. What has history got in store for us today? So I missed out yesterday, so just quickly on the 18th of March back in 2020, Wright BTC posted, "We are delighted to announce that Wright BTC will list a Bitcoin SV, BSV deposits and withdrawals will be available when trading opens at 8 AM UTC on March 18th, 2020. Bitcoin SV, BSV trading pairs are a USDT and BTC." Alright, kind of a cool image there. There we go. Not too much to report on that day. However, today, back in Bitcoin history, on the 19th of March 2013, check this out. Hal Finney releases a post called Bitcoin and Me, and in it he stated, when Satoshi announced the first release of the software, I grabbed it right away. I think I was the first person besides Satoshi to run Bitcoin. I mined block 70 something. That's interesting. That is really interesting. So that means he's suggesting that Satoshi Nakamoto has got the least, at least the first blocks from number 1 to number 70. Because when he first downloaded the software, he managed to get block 70 something. Fascinating stuff. And I was the recipient of the first Bitcoin transaction when Satoshi sent 10 coins to me as a test. And then he went on about how he'd been helping Satoshi out with the software. And he said, after a few days, Bitcoin was running pretty stably, so I left it running. Those were the days when difficulty was 1 and you could find blocks with a CPU. That's a computer processing unit, not even a GPU, which is a graphics processing unit. I mined several blocks over the next days, but I turned it off because it made my computer run hot and the fan noise bothered me. In retrospect, I wish I'd kept it up longer, but on the other hand, I was extraordinarily lucky to be there at the beginning. And then he continued, he said, the next I heard of Bitcoin was late 2010 when I was surprised to find that it was not only still going, Bitcoin actually had monetary value. How cool is that? And that was the statement that he made there. I've just read some of that text. Fascinating stuff. So I didn't know that. So now we know that Hal mined block 70 something. So Satoshi had all the blocks before that. Amazing. Amazing. Let's go on to a bit of news then. Check this out. Check this out. Oh my goodness me. Really grateful for the people who find these articles. But you'll read it. So this one says Bitcoin file format possibly copyrightable according to new UK Court of Appeal decision. So let's find out who's involved in this then. So this article was actually written on the 23rd of August 2023. It says here, Dr. Craig Wright, the Australian businessman who claims to be the creator of Bitcoin system and the author of the Bitcoin source code and white paper, successfully appealed a High Court decision that denied his request to serve a copyright infringement claim on defendants outside of the UK. Let's see if there's any more on this. Oh, there we go. Yeah. And who is involved in this? Oh, look at that. The Honourable Justice Miller. The same guy who was on this case. I mean, is that not a conflict of interest? Because he lost this when Craig appealed his decision, and he lost it spectacularly, 3-0. So there were 3 appeal court judges who ruled that this guy, James Mellor, was incorrect in not allowing this appeal to go through. 3-0, not even 2-1. Not even one agreed with his decision. So why on earth is he ruling on this? But anyway, we'll continue. So he said, in order to serve extrajudicial defendants, Dr. Wright needed to show that his copyright infringement claim raised a serious issue to be tried. The High Court determined, and again the High Court, they're referring to James Miller, that Dr. Wright's claim to ownership of the copyright in the Bitcoin file format did not meet this test. The UK Court of Appeal disagreed, overruled, so the 3 appeal court judges overruled the High Court decision, which was James Mellor, and granted Dr. Wright's request to serve extrajudicial defendants with his copyright claim. It says here as a subheading, denied in court of first instance. The High Court judge, Justice Mellor, agreed with Dr. Wright on 3 key points. First, Justice Mellor agreed that Dr. Wright expended substantial skill and judgment in creating the Bitcoin file format. Right, excuse me if I seem a little bit confused here. So we've just heard, again, James Mellor saying that he did not think that Craig Wright was Satoshi Nakamoto, that Craig Wright did not write the white paper, that Craig Wright did not start the network. And yet in a previous ruling, he said that Dr. Wright expended substantial skill and judgment in creating the Bitcoin file format. Care to explain yourself? Like, this is just absolutely crazy. Such that the originality / intellectual creativity requirement was met. Further, the Justice agreed that Dr. Wright devised and created the Bitcoin file format in the course of writing the code for the Bitcoin system. Last, Justice Mellor agreed that two works could be created at the same time. However, Justice Mellor disagreed with Dr. Wright on the key issue of fixation. The court held that Dr. Wright erred in his assumption that the fixation requirement was automatically met when the Bitcoin program ran, since the Bitcoin file format was not recorded in writing or otherwise, which is a key component of establishing fixation. The Bitcoin file format was not fixed. Well, it is actually. Therefore, Dr. Wright had no real prospect of establishing copyright in the file format. The Justice then listed further related reasons for the denial. Yeah, and it just goes on. The UK Court of Appeal overturned Justice Mellor's decision. The three-judge panel unanimously held that Justice Mellor was wrong to hold that Dr. Wright had no real prospect of successfully establishing the Bitcoin file format, which is fixation. Writing to the court, Lord Justice Arnold noted that 1. Justice Mellor confused work and fixation when discussing the Bitcoin file format. Dr. Wright identified the work as the file format. However, the question of whether the file format was fixed merits a trial. 2. The content does not need to indicate the structure of the Bitcoin file format for clarity. All that is required is that the structure be completely and unambiguously recorded. 3. Justice Mellor applied the wrong test for fixation. Had the correct test been used, Justice Mellor would have asked whether Dr. Wright's claimed fixation made the Bitcoin file format identifiable with sufficient precision and objectivity. 4. The rationale for the fixation requirement to serve as evidence of the existence of the work and to delimit the scope of protection when unconsidered. Blah, blah, blah. Potential input. I mean, can you believe it? Can you honestly believe what I've just read there? So you're not Satoshi Nakamoto, but you created the software and the code. Honestly, you couldn't make this space up. Oh my goodness me. So anyway, yeah, a little bit of fun there. Let's have a look at today's figures. So just got Bitcoin at $73. Transactions down at 32.9. Block size 77 though. Again, still running pretty good. It's now 0.5% more profitable to mine on BTC, so because the price has gone down of BSV, but we know what's coming. And look what's fascinating here. So other mining pools that were initially quite a substantial miner on eCash have now completely got rid of their hash rate. They're not mining eCash at all, and yet the profitability of eCash, Fisher Price Cash, is much of a muchness to BTC. So it's fascinating. Now another miner's got no hash rate on there, and yeah, the profitability is still the same. So there's no incentive for miners to mine it or not. It's just you may as well just hop between the two. You know, who cares? So next we've just got Bcrash to take care of, because other miners have still got a substantial amount of hash rate on there in order to control the profitability, or manage, should I say, the profitability of the network. And BSV, look, hasn't changed at all. Calvin still with 54%, winning 54% of the blocks, which is massive, absolutely massive. You know, so and here we go. Look, the block reward halving, just 32 days until the BTC halving, and 25 days until the Bitcoin halving. Like, wow. And this is going to be a real litmus test for the networks, a real litmus test. You know, well, again, I mean, let's have a quick look at Tether. I mean, the amount that they've pumped into the network to pump the price due to the court case to basically, oh, look at that. So look at that. What have they done now? So it's gone from 103.3 to 103.6. So just a cool 300 million. Just 300 million, just like that, in an instant. What an absolute joke that is. And where have we gone in the week? 102.4 to 103.5. So that's 1 billion 100 million in a week. 1 billion. I mean, seriously, when did this? I mean, this is, well, my shitcoin is shit for brains. What can we say? You know, so in the month it's gone from 97.9, so like 98 to 103. Jeepers, over $5 billion. $5 billion in a month. Bearing in mind a month is like, 4 and a bit weeks. Jeepers. Look at that. Look at that over the year. Where were we? 77 billion to now 103. I mean, where's it come from? look, honestly, what an absolute joke. Like, it's just literally pumping away another fiat currency system that the regulators have failed to clamp down on. It is absolutely an economically worthless, illegal, unregistered security offering. It is outrageous. Anyway, all of this, we've had, there've been loads of people on Twitter recently, saying, oh, I don't believe that Craig Wright is Satoshi anymore, blah, 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 blah. This is a really good sort of coverage here from Ryushi. And we've got, so as a bit of a joke, I put on here, check this out. Craig Wright scammed me. Craig Wright is a scammer. I'm sorry if you thought Craig Wright was Satoshi, because I thought he was. I now don't think he is. I think he scammed me. He's a massive scammer that tells whopping lies. Who am I? Oh dear, honestly. You've got to laugh in this space. Personally, I think everything that's going on at the moment is just simply a cover for this. Look at this beauty here. Terra node chugging away in the background. Nobody looking at it. No big deal. The only network on the planet that can actually process more than 50,000 transactions per second. And where are we here? At 1 million. 1 million transactions per second. My goodness me. And what's the biggest block here? Is it 118? Oh my god, 118 gigabyte block. 118 gigabyte block. Obviously the biggest one I've seen so far has been 335 gigabytes. But look at that, ticking away in the background. No big deal. Just producing a million, just processing 1 million transactions per second, producing hundreds of gigabyte blocks. Just absolutely nuts when you realise what's going on. So there we go. That is a 13-minute show. We'll leave you there. Hope you enjoyed it. And as ever, be aware, take care, stay safe out there, and we'll see you in the next one.